Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Ultimate Hardcore Iron Man Truvis. The last episode we started out by randomizing our classes to swords, wands, and throwables. And today what we're going to do is we're actually going to obtain as many weapons from the Weaponlocke shop as we can. We're going to start fletching so that we can create the darts. We're also going to start mining and smithing so that we can also create the darts, knives, and some thrown axes. We're going to continue working on our combat stats, and we're going to complete a couple key quests. Now, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to point out the things that we learned between episodes. So between this iron sword and the steel longsword, the iron sword is actually more DPS because it is quicker. So I am going to throw this steel longsword into our little trophy case, which is the bank. And we're going to start the episode. So like I said, we're going to probably start with fletching a little bit. We're going to sell what we fletch for some money so that we can eventually afford some more weapons from Weaponlocke. So first things first, on our way up to the bank here, I'm just going to pick up the knife in the kitchen. And just as a little reminder of our rule set, we're playing this as a hardcore Iron Man and an ultimate Iron Man all in one. So we can't really use the bank. But I did explain in episode 1 that we are going to use the bank for storage of the items, of the weapons that we've achieved so far. So like I said, I'm going to throw this steel longsword in here just like that. And like I said, it will never be able to come out again. So yeah, we're going to hop down to Bob, and we're going to buy an axe real quick. And we're going to start cutting some trees down and fletching them into, for now, it's going to be into arrow shafts. We're gonna end up dropping them once we hit level 5. We don't need arrows for anything, so we're gonna drop the arrow shafts. But once we hit level 5 fletching, we can then craft the short bows, which we will then sell to the store right here and make some extra cash. And once we get enough money, we're gonna buy as many weapons from the Weaponlocke shop as we can. And we actually had the perfect amount of GP left over in order to buy the bronze axe. And because I can hear some of the comments already, because of the axe, we're not actually using it for combat, so I'm going to allow it. I'm not going to equip it though, just to kind of add a bit more of a challenge, because it will take up the inventory space, I guess. But because we're not using it for combat, I'm going to allow the use of axes, pickaxes, and all the tools like that, but I'm just not going to be able to use them for combat. And we just got an easy clue scroll. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this right away or not, but we will check it out and see what it's like. Okay, we just got to search in Taverly, so we're going to hold on to that for a minute here, and yeah, we're going to see about completing that when we get to maybe 5 or 10 fletching or something like that, and get some money, and we can walk over to Falador or Taverly and finish that, or at least start it. Okay, so just in case you guys were curious at all, I do need level 10 fletching in order to make bronze darts, so that's our goal for now. We're going to use, we're going to get to 10 fletching, and then we're going to use all the feathers we have with the bronze darts once we can actually make the bronze dart tips, which I believe is at level 4 smithing. We're going to go jump ahead. We're going to go ahead and grab 10 or 5 fletching for now so that we can start making the short bows to sell them so that we can end up buying some more swords from the Weaponlocke shop. And then, yeah, we're going to end up getting to level 10 fletching so that we can make the bronze darts. And then here we go, getting level 5 fletching. So now we can make the short bows, which is good because now we can make some money with the fletching. We can't sell these for anything, unfortunately, to the shop. They don't buy them for any coins. So we're going to drop the 1,000 arrow shafts that we just made because we don't need them at all because we can't even use arrows as it is. So we're going to start cutting these into short bows now so that we can sell them to the shop to make a little bit of profit. And once we get enough money, we're going to go buy some of the weapons from the Weaponlocke shop just to knock off a couple weapons this episode. I also forgot to mention it earlier in the video. I know that the sort of list that I put up at the end of the last episode was missing a couple things. I am working on adding some things to that list. I know that I forgot a couple of the throwables onto it, and I'm going to double check to make sure that I didn't forget anything else other than that. But yeah, I am updating that list as we speak, and the card you'll see at the end of this episode should have an updated list of every item that we are getting this for this account. And here we are with a full inventory of our short bows. We're just going to see how much we sell them for. I'm not going to bother hopping worlds too much, just because that would take forever with this mount that we're going to be making. So here we go. We're just going to sell them all. From in one inventory, we've got 84 coins, which isn't too much, but over time, we're going to get be able to make better short bows, better long bows, and stuff like that, and be able to make more money. And I just wanted to bring up again, as it comes to the bounty hunter weapons like the Vestas and the Morrigan stuff, obviously it's going to be very hard to do on a hardcore Iron Man without dying. So maybe we'll leave that till the very end and see how far we can get until then, and then if we get everything else, we can maybe try to hop into bounty hunter worlds, and maybe that's how the hardcore Iron Man will die. But that sounds like a pretty glorious ending to me if that's the case. But yeah, we'll decide that later down the road. Yeah, in my past, like my last hardcore Iron Man that I have done, fletching has always been my favorite moneymaker early game because it's so AFK. You just kind of chop some trees and create some stuff. And fletching is really good for hardcore, for Iron Man specifically, because you need it for a lot of things. If you do a lot of AFK fletching and woodcutting, eventually you can just make your own magic shortbow when you need it. So it was always nice when I was a hardcore Iron Man just to, like I said, just chop some trees, fletch some bows, get some early game cash, and yeah, it was always really nice early on. And now with the addition with the Veil Totems, the fletching bows and stuff like that is a really good fletching XP when you do Veil Totems there. So I think I am going to hop worlds just as I sell the whole inventory, just to get a few extra GP each time, because obviously the more you sell to it, the less money you get. And they were staying in there for quite some time, so I'll just sell it just to get the full amount that I want. And yeah, eventually we'll have enough money to go to the rocks or the sword shop and buy some more. I think what I might do while I am doing this this fletching is I'm going to grab the free runes from the magic tutor. I'm just going to safe spot something in this pen while I well, every 30 minutes or so while I'm here, just so that I can get the magic level up a little bit. I'm probably just going to safe spot this goblin or the rams that are in here as well, and just like I said, just get some magic levels going, because I do have to get to level 45 before I can wield any of my weapons. And okay, there's the last cast. Just got to level 3 right there for the first set. Almost at level 4. We'll get it in the next half hour or so. And we got our first random event. It's just the Jekyll event, but it is a free strength potion, so we'll take that for now. We'll keep it in our inventory. I don't know if we're going to use it. We might end up dropping it depending on what we're doing, but yeah, nice to get random events. And okay, we just hit level 10 ranging here. Sorry, 10 fletching. We're looking at a longbow and thinking ranged. So this is important because it's actually a prerequisite for one of the quests that I want to get done, which is the tourist trap. So because we're kind of needing to do to use darts, you need to complete the tourist trap in order to create darts. So in order to create darts, if we have to do it, makes sense to do it. So the level 10 fletching was the requirement for that. We also need level 20 smithing. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go do the Knight's Sword quest as soon as possible. And in order to do the Knight's Sword, we need 10 mining. So I'm going to go get 10 mining really quick. I'm going to go buy a bronze pickaxe from Bob here. I'm going to drop the bronze axe for now because we don't need it anymore right for this time. So I'm going to go grab a bronze pickaxe from Bob, and yeah, we're going to go mine some iron or some copper and tin for a little while. Might make them into bars and smith them because, why not get the extra smithing XP as well. So yeah, I'm going to go hop over to the mine just on the south of Lumbridge here, just 5 copper and 5 tin. And I'm just going to stay here I'm going to get a full inventory of half and half, and then like I said, I'll make them into bronze bars, and then I'll craft them into whatever I can, sell that back to the general store. And we just got level 12 mining here. We're going to get up to level 15 mining just because I'm busy doing some other stuff on the side. We also just got a random event for a later Hosen top as well. So that was one of our first random events as well. So that's always nice to get. Hopefully we'll get the full set soon, but I am going to have to drop it, unfortunately, eventually when we run out of space. So okay, it's about time that we knock off another item off of our list. So I'm just going to go and smith a bronze longsword here. We haven't unlocked this one yet, so here we go. We're just going to grab it right here. And we're definitely not going to use it because it's definitely worse DPS than the iron sword. But it's good to have. We're going to throw that into our trophy collection. And yeah, we're going to... we're just going to get up to level 10 smithing here so that we can do the quest. And then we will go on ahead and start questing. And okay, here we are at the bank here. We're just going to really quickly chuck in the bronze longsword. And we're going to throw that into the longsword tab there. We're up to 4 in here, plus the one we have, which is 5 swords so far. And okay, we just hit level 15 mining here so that we can get the iron ore for Knight Sword. Or sorry, for Doric's quest first, then to do Knight Sword afterwards. We also have 9 smithing to start off with, so we can, hopefully after Knight Sword, we'll be able to make a couple of swords for our list. And okay, now that we're done with that inventory there, what we're going to do is we're going to start a little questing montage here. I'm going to get a few quests done that I wanted to get done early on in the account here. So just please enjoy the music, and yeah, we're going to get some quests done.
Interrupted sleep kicked off this spring, eruption in action and creativity. Each breath a spark, each thought a rush. The colors fade, the laughter's hush. I feel it now, the weight inside, the dizzy dance, it starts to slide. And it's getting dark, the shadows crawl. No more brightness, no more walls. I'm coming down, I'm falling fast. The light I held, it couldn't last. The nights stretch long, the stars don't glow. The echoes whisper, don't let go. But every laugh now sounds so far. I'm reaching out to catch a star. But it's getting dark, the shadows crawl. No more brightness, no more walls. I'm coming down, I'm falling fast. The light I held, it couldn't last. But it's getting dark, the shadows crawl. No more brightness, no more walls. I'm coming down, I'm falling fast.
And okay, that's it for the quests for now. So we just have one more that I want to get done, but before we get into that, so it is the Knight Sword. I have the 4 iron bars that I need for it, 2 for the Knight Sword, and then 2 for my own sword. Before I get into that, though, I do need to get some other quests completed so that I can get a high enough HP level to not be afraid of the ice giants in the Remington cave there. But before we do anything else, I just wanted to explain a couple things. So the first thing I wanted to get into was how I got these iron bars. Now, obviously you need level 15 smithing in order to get them, or you could go to the wilderness. The wilderness is a little bit scary sometimes. I think they're around here or so, the iron bars, but it's a little scary to get from the Ferox Enclave to there as a hardcore Iron Man. I used to do it, but then they added Varlamore. And if you happen to go to Varlamore here to the Sunset Coast, inside this building right here, there's an iron bar spawn. So I went there and I grabbed 4 of them for that. Otherwise, yeah, you'd have to go to the wilderness or end up making them yourself. The next thing I wanted to discuss was just why I did those quests. Now, a couple of them are just really quick and easy on the way type of quests, like Romeo and Juliet. Pirate's Treasure was kind of on the way as well. Sheep Shearer. But for the most part, they were just a little small quests just to get our quest points up a bit. Eventually, we're going to need a lot of quest points for some of the quests that we want to get done. But some of them I did just for, some crafting XP, and they were quick. And yeah, like I said, I did Doric's quest because it gives you some mining XP and it preps you well for the Knight's Sword quest, which is the big one we want to get done soon. But first, we're going to end up doing the Witch's House. We didn't do it yet because I just want to actually build up the mind and air runes that we have so that I can cast spells to kill the monsters for the Witch's House, so that we can get some HP. And the next thing I want to talk about is why I didn't do waterfall quests, and I have a reason for that. And the reason is I want to use the blue right sword as an actual training method for a little bit. I know it's usually a sword that you kind of just get and then you just drop it, or you store it in your bank and you never use it. The wiki says it's equivalent to around a steel longsword, which I know is worse than this iron sword, but I kind of want to use it to train because I've never used it before, and I think it would be a little interesting to use. So I'm going to use it to train my defense and my attack when I get it, probably to like level 10 each or something like that. Maybe I'll kill imps to get the beads for imp catcher. I'll use the blue right sword for that, and then once I'm done with that, I'll probably change out the sword and do waterfall quests in order to get the attack and strength levels for that. But that's why I haven't done waterfall quests. It is on my mind. Obviously, it's one of the first thing many accounts do, but I kind of wanted to use the blue right sword, and I figured might as well use it while we're a low combat before we get a better weapon, anyways. And then lastly, I did get a strength potion for half a strength potion from another hide event. So I got a full strength potion, which is going to be nice for when we need it. And then we also have this antique lamp from X Marks the Spot. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to put this into right now. I might wait until we do Druidic Ritual and put it into Herbal, or I'll just keep it in my bank for now. But actually, I think we can destroy it, and we can get another one from Veos if we wanted to. But we might also put it into prayer as well. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to leave it in my inventory for now. It's not in the way at the moment. And then these gems here were from a couple of the quests. Pirate's Treasure were from these, and then these were from the Mistle and Mystery quest. I'm probably going to sell them to the general store just to get some extra cash, get them out of my inventory. I'm not going to be able to use them for a long time. So, but yeah, overall it was pretty good questing there. I still have a couple more I want to do, but I'm just not quite ready for them. Once I get a couple more air and mind runes, I'll be able to do them. But yeah, up until that point, we'll wait for now and just do some other things in the meantime. Since I'm here at the general store anyways, I might as well hop in and just sell this stuff here. Only going to get the emerald and the gold ring are actually worth a little bit of money here. So, but yeah, I'll just chuck them in there and get up to almost 2100 GP there. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do these clue scrolls that we got. We got a beginner one from X Marks the Spot quest, and then we've got the easy one to do that we got. Can't remember off the top of my head where we got it from, but yeah. So we're going to go ahead and do these. This is a Reldo step, and then this one here is in Taverley. We're going to hop over to Taverley to get this one done. And okay, we just did the beginner class casket. We just got the last clue from Brooks and Burson here. And when it comes to the easy scroll, we need to equip a steel axe. And I'm kind of in my mind where I'm like, I can't, I don't want to allow myself to do that. I don't only want to equip the weapons that I'm allowed to do. So probably these clues that have me equipping weapons that aren't in my, the swords, the throwables, or the wands, I don't think I'm going to do. I'm going to drop them. But anyways, we've still got the beginner to open up. So let's go ahead and see what we get from that. Get an oak of longbow that we can drop right away, and 4 nature runes that we'll keep in my inventory for the time being, but we might end up using them up. And I think I'm going to call this episode here. I want to get it out to you guys just to give you some more content in the meantime. I know there's not a lot of progress. There was some questing, a little bit of skilling to do, but I just want to get this video out so you guys have something to view. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you drop a comment, a like, and a subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.